And we're back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is your man Warrior. Now, I want to do a video on training. I did a video earlier on gear and how to gear characters up efficiently, but also how to maximize when you're spending energy on gearing up a character to make sure you get the most rewards. If you have not checked out that video, I would highly recommend it. I've had a number of people who've played this game for a long time watch the video and tell me that they did not in fact know that the rewards were different and did not pay that much attention. And I have already started to change the way that they play when they're farming for gear. I do want to show you how to level your characters. It may not seem like a huge deal, and for somebody who may be a whale and spending a ton of money on the game, they may not care. But for the average free-to-play player, credits are hard to come by. You are going to get them through Galactic War, through your daily, raids, things like that. But you are not going to have enough. You're never going to have enough. So just like I showed you in the gearing, where you farm for gear, how you can maximize out getting the credits in training your characters, you want to make sure that you're being as efficient as possible. And the game is not necessarily going to be efficient for you, and they are also going to not use your training bots efficiently. So I'm going to show you that. Let's go ahead and go into characters. We're going to go into training. So we'll go to train. Now you can go into this character for training and you can look at them. It goes based off of the level that they currently are at and who needs trained up. If we go back, you can pick a character. So I'm just going to go down to, let's say, IG-86. So or Poe Dameron even. These are characters that I'm starting. Oops, Snowtrooper. Poe Dameron I'm starting to develop. So let's just take a look at him. If you click on Poe Dameron and you click on Train on the bottom left, it's going to pull him up. Now, when you click Assign All, the game's going to be very inefficient and use all of your Training 1 training droids, then go to your Training 2 training droids. Well, the problem is as you're leveling characters up, you may not need that much experience, and you may want to use a Training 1 droid or Training 2, a 2-star training droid. But if they're all gone, you won't have that capability. So you want to have a few of all of the training droids, because if you look to the top right, it will show you your level, and below that your experience, and it'll show you how many experience points you need to get to the next level. When you're spending credits, you may not want to max these characters out. So when you click Assign All, the game automatically assigned all 2,400 of my 1-star training bots, and the rest of them came out of my 2-star. And I have a few 2-stars left. Now, I have hardly any training bots left, even though they're more efficient. The training credits it requires is 2435,442. 2435,442, let's remember that number. So let's go ahead and get rid of those. Now let's use my theory, which is using approximately half. You can just go through and use half of what you have, or you can use a third of what you have, or whatnot. And we'll go ahead and max this out, 24,435,442. So in this instance, the training droids, by using Assign All and by using my method, came out to the same amount of gold. However, they were going to use all of your lower end bots that you might need to level a particular character up down the road, whereas mine evenly distributes your training bots. Now let's go. This is not always the case. This is almost never the case. So let's just look at a couple other characters. I'll go to HK, because HK is a character that I'm starting to level up. So let's go to Train. If I go ahead and click Assign All, we're at 2471,652. So 2471. If I now do my way of doing it, which is using a little bit from everywhere, it's 2470. And so it's gone down by over 1,000 credits. Now that may not seem like a big deal, but some of these characters, when you're training, have a variance of anywhere from 13,000 credits to, I have seen, 96,000 credit variance, all through the game inefficiently assigning the credit, your training bots for you, and not assigning them appropriately, and using an extra amount of credits that you don't need. Now, the way I just showed you, it evenly distributes your usage through all of your training bots, but it also makes sure that you're maxing out the efficiency of how few credits you need to spend. And there's many characters where you're going to save by doing this. For example, HK was one example. IG, there's not a huge credit variance on IG, but if I go ahead and click Assign All, we know we're at 1491. We're almost at 1492 in credits for 1.492 million credits. Now, if I take out their inefficient way and I do my method of, picking a few from every single section, it's 1491, which has dropped. So it is not a huge amount of credits, but it is a credit savings. And again, I've done a number of these characters where the game assigns it or you assign it by, this is another thing a lot of people do, is they'll just take their top bot and assign the maximum amount. Now, sometimes you will use more XP than you actually need. And when you do that, you will spend way more money. Oops, he's maxed out. You'll spend way more money than you need to. So here's Kylo Ren. Let's just take a look at him for right now. If I was to use 89, it costs $18.95. And if I assign all, it's $18.77. So already it's more efficient to use the assign all button. However, they're destroying all of your lowest end credits, so you can see how inefficient it is to just click on your highest training droid and call it good. You will lose credits doing this. Now, if you were to click on these and use a little from every single section, you're going to have all your training droids left. You're at the 1877 and less credits. So you're going to utilize fewer credits to upgrade your characters. Now, I know this doesn't seem like a very big deal for people, especially if they have a lot of credits. What's a few thousand credits? But the biggest variant I have seen when upgrading a character has been almost 100,000 credits in a variant. That is a lot of credits to waste when upgrading a character, all because you're being lazy by clicking on the highest level training droid, or because you're letting the game chew through your bottom training bots. Now, the training bots, if the game has its way, will get rid of the lowest end ones, and then you will not be able to have that control on how you want to level your characters up. You'll only have a few of those highest end bots, and you're going to have to spend a lot of money for those high end bots training them. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this shows you that there is a method to the madness when upgrading your characters. Just make sure that you're paying attention to the money and how much they're charging you to upgrade that character. So that way you don't just drop a bunch of credits unnecessarily. Here's an example, 788. If we go ahead and do this, let's see if we can get it less than 788. 774. So it was 788 and now it's 774. Do you see how efficient going across the board works for maxing out the XP and not spending as much credit? This particular variant, so this was a better example, is showing over 14,000 credits that would have been wasted by doing it the other way. So we want to make sure that we're using our credits and our training bots wisely. If you have any questions about this, you can leave a comment below. If you want to see a video about anything else with this game, making sure that you're playing in the most efficient manner, please like, subscribe, and comment below with the video you'd like to see. Again, this is your boy Warrior. I'm out.